Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ferox, and today for something a little bit different, I really wanted to talk about Tinkerbell and the legend of the Never Beast, because I've been watching it with my kid and turns out it's actually a really good emotional vaccine for the grief around losing a pet to euthanasia. So if you don't know what I mean by an emotional vaccine, I mean it's something that you go through before the real thing with similar emotions so that you can experience them in a smaller way and talk about how to cope with them, label those feelings, come to a degree of understanding before the real thing. Now, if you have seen this movie, which I think was released in 2015, and I found for a whole dollar at an op shop, you already know. If you haven't, I'll give you a very brief rundown because the big scary monster called Gruff gets befriended in traditional Disney fashion. They go on and save the world, and then his job is done, so he needs to go back to sleep for 1,000 years, which means his fairy friends will not be there when he wakes up, and they will never see him again. So this is when the tone shifts to all the sad music, and we see a lovely procession of him walking with all the grateful fairies down to his final resting place. There's flowers, there's lights, there's gifts, there's lots of gratitude and lots of grief in that final goodbye. And the movie ends with him literally closing his eyes, staring at his best friend. But don't stop there, because now the credits roll, and it's still very sad, but the first part of the credits is filled with childlike drawings of Gruff, and drawings of Gruff playing with his friends, of happy memories that go from black and white through to colour. So we've gone from the raw grief to not quite as raw, but still very sad, and then it takes us through focusing on the fond memories. And then it changes again, and we go back to our animated characters who are getting on with their lives, doing all the things that need doing, because ducklings need to learn to waddle and bunnies need to learn to hop, and they still find joy in those simple things. So when you watch it, it does feel quite a lot like pet euthanasia, that very controlled, peaceful goodbye. But it also steps you through going from raw grief through to fond memories and going back to your normal life, which is entirely the point. Now, my kiddo is still fairly young, and we have cats. You see Dingus and Pancake sometimes in these videos. Pancake is at least 7 years old now, which means as a best case scenario, my kiddo will be sort of early to mid-teens when he eventually passes away. And I'm hoping that Pancake's eventual death will be the first major grief that my kiddo has to go through. And it's going to suck. It's going to be bad. Because it's a big grief. Like, they're very big, real emotions. Pets are treated sort of somewhere between a child and a best friend by adults, and kind of like a sibling to a best friend by a lot of kids. So it is a very big and very real grief. But I'm hoping by having had this demo of emotions in the movie, having talked about them, having experienced them when my kid has no idea what the real thing is like, there has been no major loss in their little life. We've already got the blueprint, we've already seen the pathway for how to handle it. So that's what I mean by an emotional vaccine. The movie itself is also not too bad. There's a lot of friendship themes, it's bright, it's colourful. It is a little scary towards the end, but it's not bad. It goes quite hard. It does its job really well. I do want to know what's happening between Fawn and Nix, because there's more chemistry there than I was expecting in a Disney film, but that's That's a pleasant surprise. And if you haven't seen it, I think it is probably worthwhile, especially if you need a good cathartic cry over losing your own pet, because it will definitely make you feel something. Anyway, my name is Dr. Ferox. Thank you for watching and indulging me in this little rant. I'll probably talk about euthanasias in future videos, so please subscribe if you're interested in that, or leave me a comment if you think there's other movies or shows that you think are also good emotional vaccines for kids on this topic. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.